In the quiet town of Valmorin lived a young craftsman named Adriel. He was talented, sincere, and hardworking, but life had a way of testing him more deeply than others. Adriel spent years saving to open a small workshop where he crafted wooden lamps. Each lamp carried a unique carving, inspired by the stories he heard from travelers passing through town. It was his dream, his life's purpose. But one stormy evening, disaster struck. A lightning bolt hit a nearby tree, and the burning branches crashed into Adriel's workshop. By the time the villagers helped put out the flames, everything he owned, his tools, his materials, his artwork, had turned to ash. Adriel stood in the rain, trembling, staring at the ruins of his dream. "Why me?" he whispered. "What did I do wrong?" For days after, Adriel sank into a heavy sadness. He stayed inside, avoided people, and felt life had betrayed him. One morning, an elderly neighbor named Ciara, known for her calm wisdom, gently knocked on his door. She placed a small wooden box in his hands. "It belonged to my husband," she said. "He was a craftsman too. He once lost everything like you, but the loss became the beginning of something greater." Inside the box were old chisels, worn brushes, and a notebook filled with sketches and lessons. Ciara smiled softly. "Everything happens for a reason, Adriel. Sometimes the reason hides until we walk far enough to see it." With nothing left to lose, Adriel picked up the tools from the box and started carving again, slowly, quietly, with no pressure to be perfect. But this time something changed. He carved not for profit, not for display, but from the deepest part of himself. One afternoon, a traveling merchant named Ciara spotted one of Adriel's new lamps drying by the window. He stopped, astonished. "I've traveled across kingdoms," Ciara said, "but I've never seen craftsmanship like this." "Who made it?" Adriel hesitated. "I did." Ciara's eyes widened. "I want to buy every lamp you make, and I want to take your work to the capital. People must see this talent." Within months, Adriel's lamps gained recognition far beyond Valmorin. His carvings, once nearly lost in a fire, were now displayed in grand halls and noble homes. His workshop was rebuilt larger, brighter, and filled with young apprentices who came to learn from him. One late evening, as Adriel locked his new workshop, he paused and looked up at the night sky. The same storm clouds from that tragic night seemed to drift faintly overhead. And for the first time, he understood. If the fire hadn't destroyed his old workshop, if he hadn't fallen into despair, if Ciara hadn't given him the box, if Ciara hadn't passed by that day, he would still be making ordinary lamps instead of creating art that touched people's hearts. What he thought was the end had secretly been the beginning. Sometimes life closes a door not to punish us, but to push us toward the door we were truly meant to open. When things go wrong, it doesn't mean life is against you. It may be guiding you, shaping you, preparing you for what's ahead. Everything happens for a reason. You may not see it today, but one day you will look back and finally understand.